Disney.
There's a hook at the bottom. Hook up. Pull it up.
Like towards you.
Twist it.
Go like this. There's a way to pull it up. Someone help me. Pull up like towards you. That was part of the exam. Alright everyone, what do we like?
I feel like you use your left hand pretty well because I know it's easy, especially, I do this a lot where you fall into the habit of just mirroring your right hand, but I feel like you're always showing like some different information in your right hand.
I like how quick you were with them. I like how concise you were with your
The third movement or the all?
I'd say all. so to speak, between like within your chest basically. So it really didn't allow for a whole lot of variety of movement, and I think if you use more room, more space available to you, then it would help you be a better or communicate what you want, and probably more comfortable.
Sure. Good. All right. So let's go over a few things. I think the biggest one, Kevin, that I think would immediately help, getting the eyes up.
Okay.
More. Yeah. We just watch on your tape. You know, like,
Sure.
one of the things I've done before when I watch my own, and this is admittedly one of my biggest faults still. So like it's one of the, partly for me, like with the groups I'm dealing with, we're at such fine detail work half the time. I'm double checking, triple checking what's going on, and even with that, sometimes I'm missing stuff. So, but I know it's an issue for me. So with these shorter things, really practice them, getting the eyes up. And there's an important part of that too for everyone. This is why it's important for you all to be here even when you're not conducting it, so you hear all this stuff. It's very important at the beginning of the piece to keep your eyes up, like at least a couple beats in. Do you know what I mean? So like if we're doing at the beginning, can we go at the beginning of common threads, everyone right there just with me? It's immediate like, huh, you know, like as a player, you're like, oh crap, you know what I mean? So like get through the first couple bars, here we go again. Especially, and for all of you, and this is going to become very, very critical in the next exam too, anything where there is some kind of, I don't want to use the word choreography because that's not what it is, but some kind of mechanical thing we have to figure out our way around, like when we do fermatas, having your eyes up during that time and practicing it that way instead of looking down will help you inevitably. You notice when I just did it, I went through that 5A without even looking, and I was just confident in the 2+3, and they played it just fine. You know what I mean? So part of it is, and this is why it's in the rubric, you guys have seen, confidence in plays is in the rubric for this reason. It's not because it's like, you need to be confident, you're a conductor. It has nothing to do with that. It has that helps the ensemble play. They feel relaxed. You know, if you're working with a conductor, you know, can you do me a favor? I've used this to great effect with my own ensembles numerous times. We're going along with something and I'm like, you know, like, what are you doing? You know, like literally like looking straight down at it. All of this communicates stuff. So get back up here. Let's try, can we try the very first one, 1 to 5? Yeah. So one of the things I wrote here is that I really want to know how you feel about this piece. I mean, I feel like we got the 5-4, but it felt very much like Traffic Cop. Like here we are, here we go, very good. Traffic Cop accomplished. You know what I mean? Like so. What are some words that you would kind of attribute to this piece? Well, how would you describe it?
Flowery.
Flowery. I like flowery. Okay, what kind of flower are you talking about? That's okay. Describe
Like
I don't
daisies,
know.
daffodils.
Ooh, okay, so like you know, yeah, like meadow, you know, like wildflowers. Ooh, I like wildflowers. All right. So are these wildflowers? Like in a bouquet, or is it in a location?
You're like walking through a botanical garden,
Ooh, I like this.
and you're on a date with your sweetheart.
Okay, there we go. We're getting even better. All right, David, sweetheart. We can say I love this.
Romantic.
It's romantic. Okay, good. So if we're thinking this scene, would you say our time focus is more quick, like we're changing stuff, or is it more continuous and we're letting time? Continuous. Yeah, absolutely, makes sense. What about weight? Is it light or heavy? What would you say this scene?
Generally light.
Generally light. Okay, I like that. And are we aimlessly walking? Are we just kind of like, oh, this is cool? Or are we going like, there's the tree I want?
And aimless.
Aimless. Okay, so what do we got, everyone? This is indirect. Kevin hasn't done all the la stuff the rest of you have, so we're gonna help with this. Indirect, light, and continuous. Or sustained, right? Sustained. What is that one? Flow. Yeah, exactly right. So, are there moments that where it gets a little bit heavier?
Yes.
Yeah, probably where it crescendos, right? So if we're changing, so if it's indirect, light, and sustain, float, and we're changing lights to heavy. What is heavy? Sustained and indirect. Ring, ring, right? So what if it's floating? You know, something like I changed it around and moved in because I can do that kind of doctorate. But if you move it, you know, I'll make it work. Oh, here, I'll show you. Right with me, really with me, really with me, right there. Ready? I'm not gonna be worrying about pattern in my head at least. I'm gonna be thinking, changing between those ideas, right? That to me communicates more of how we want the piece to sound than, you know, and they were fine. They were fine. If you're programming a 5/4, hopefully your group can do that. You know what I mean? Like it won't be an issue. So that's the stuff I'd like to see. Can I have you try, not just like that, but just like that. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. How many presses did you show? Two. Do they need two for this one?
No.
Correct. Ah, you still did it. You still did it. You feel it. You're going 3, 4. From where you start, 5, 1. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Let's try again. Here we go.
I'm not even looking, I'm just kind of.
I know, it's like this. Well, you know, does anyone know, why do you think that is? Why do you think, even if we're not needing the music, why do we want to look down? There's numerous reasons. Yeah,
Because it's intimidating to look at your,
that's part of it. It's a safety net. Yeah,
Comfortable to do that.
comfortable. Yeah, have it.
It's like a security blanket.
Yeah, it's a security blanket. It's also how we've been studying it. We've been looking down at it. You know what I mean? So you have to, in the practice, right? Unlike with, this is where it is different from like practicing your instrument, unless you're memorizing the piece, right? You know what I mean? You have to practice it off of the page. So once you feel like you have it, you should look in a mirror, fuzz your, focus so you're not looking specifically outside. Do it, and then when you're like, I don't know where to go next, look at the music and figure out why that's throwing you off. Like maybe you're doing common threads. Da 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 dee da da dee da dee da. 3, okay. Da 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 dee da da dee da dee da dee da. What you know what I mean? Like you figure out what that problem is and practice it up. Let's try again. Let's try again. Yeah. Can I make another physical suggestion for you? Maybe elbows a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, not in front. There we go. Yeah. So when your elbows are back, and you guys heard this in basic, didn't get to hear this, right? When you're back here, this limits your kinesphere big time because you're in like this. So getting them out in front. Yeah. That's right. Here we go. Yeah, so now we want to get some specificity. The other thing I mentioned is you're kind of doing this, holding it here, but letting this be loose. You'll notice really quick with me at the beginning, everyone, I'm going to show float, but watch what I'm doing with my hand. Here we go. Beginning again, same thing. So this can be, we have a tendency, this is for everyone, when you feel that desire to be indirect, like the harmony also makes it indirect. We're not 100% sure what key we're really in here, right? It's very French impressions, right? You all hear that in there? Like it's not clear. It's not like 5-1, right? It's all this kind of funky. So when you feel that need to be indirect, don't let it just like, oh, my whole body is indirect. No, I don't conduct float by just like, doing whatever. I'm indicating, like thinking there's literally some feather or leaf stuck on the wind, at the baton tip. And it's not, I'm not gripping hard, but I'm not letting go of it either.
Okay.
Right? So that's a thing to think about. I would also think about at the very beginning, I want to get your wrist a little more active and involved. Try it. Oh, see how it's pulling against me? You go just with this. Yeah. But now do Do like a 4-4 pattern and press at the tip each time. 1, 2, press. Heavy, continuous. Wow, go slow through each one. There, look at that. Wrap that guy around. There we go, there we go. Keep going like that. Look at my hand now. You have that same wrist power too here. Not gonna hurt you. Right. Wow, this is the weirdest one. We can't go all this is the from basic, you guys remember this is like the evolutionary thing that allows us to open peanut butter. It's really important. But seriously, monkeys can't do this part. Like this is like they're stuck. They can't, right? So this is probably the weirdest. So we have a tendency almost can I touch your arms? So we have a tendency to relax into my. There it is. There. You feel that difference? That's gonna be huge for you. Okay? Keep it relaxed though. Just let it fall. There we go. I'm gonna do some stuff. 1, 2, on 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. It's not going 1, 2, 3. It can, but the default is not that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's at the wrist. Now, if you want more space, if you want a big 3, which we do in this piece, right? D, da, D, then we use the lateral space to show that. But this is still coming back, sorry, it's still coming back in line with the arm. Yes, but the important part is that's there.
Okay.
This responds to show more space. So for me, I'm going D, da, D, da, D. I'm not going D, da, D.
I feel like that's my most limited direction.
It is for everyone because you really can't, and I don't want you overextending. I don't want this. I'm not going D, da, D, da, D. It feels weird. It feels horrible. Yeah, it looks horrible too, right? Is there a world in which I want whoop, like that? Maybe in a cube, but it's pretty weird, right? Like I probably don't want that very often. The default, again, and we're just reviewing some of the stuff that is important for all of you. It's back in line with the arm. We see the pattern, like when we look at the little pattern, we see boop, 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 right? It's not really what it is. Watch when I do the 4. Where's the 3? It's almost right back where 1 was. I'm not going right? Which is what the drawings look like. D, do, D, D, what am I waiting for? D, do, D, right? Yeah, let's try again at the very beginning. Concentrate on the baton tip, elbow in front a little bit. It might help. You have, at home, do you have like a broom handle, something you take so like even, that might really help. Like I've done that before. You keep like a broom handle here so you get used to what this feels like.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ignore the fact that I'm taller. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, don't look at that. The other way around, though, our natural way of standing is how we should be bringing the music to us, right? If we're trying to communicate something, if I'm trying to communicate something like sinister thing, then yes, absolutely, we should do that. But I think on this walk, you're not walking through the park. Hopefully not yet. You know what I mean? Like, hunched over, right? You're going, look at these flowers. Look at these. I don't even know what these are. These are great. These are great. All right, let's try again. Let's try last time. So notice and this is true for everyone. When I adjust some kind of tension thing, and you've been doing it that way a long time, your body will almost always respond by trying to put it somewhere else. It's like, okay, I can't do wrist anymore. Fine. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it in my waist or my back or my neck. So just be mindful of that. Okay, I've stopped at this one. Where did it go? It's like chasing it until you remove it. All right, here we go. Run it again. You know what would be good for you? You guys, some of you had to do this, or I prescribed this last semester. Practicing on your back when we were on a bed. Because, and the thing that's cool about this is you will be naturally relaxed, like your back and your neck, if you're just lying on your back. And And if you try to go forward, you'll either get like a six pack or you'll stop doing it. Either way, it's a bonus, you know? Alright, here we go. So imagine you're like an invisible wall that you're back here, and it's not like tense against it. You just don't have to come to that. Bring them to you. I'd love to spend more time, we're running out. I will tell you one more thing. So left hand was independent sometimes, but one of the comments I made was, I'm not sure what it was showing.
Okay.
Like, if you watch your second one, there was a lot of like, well, I don't know what you want. You know, like, yes, you know, but they weren't doing it. So like, if they aren't doing it, then find something else. One of the things we talked about in basic that'll help, the independence of hands, you can show for phrasing, for dynamics, but when you mirror, it actually increases exponentially the sound, right? So if you're going, if you want a crescendo and you've done independent hands, you haven't crescendoed enough, then mirroring and not stabbing your cellist, you know what I mean? But then mirroring at that point in time actually makes it bigger, right? So be mindful of when I'm starting to do independent left hand stuff, is it getting the response I want? If not, I gotta change it and do
Okay.
something, you know what I mean? Good job, guys.
Thank
Thank you.